Hey, hello, Sean Bronco with some goalkeeping tips. This is just the basics, getting you started if you want to have a go at goalkeeping in FIFA 18. It's embarrassing, you'll concede goals, turn your headset off so you don't have to get criticised by everyone in pro clubs, and do your thing and just try your best. If they want to back out, they can back out. So your left analog, as you can see, you can just run around like normal, you don't have to do anything, you can just run around like normal, you will concede goals. If you hold the L1, it gets you into that auto positioning indicator which is on the field. Now that's automatically there, and it basically is telling you where you should position yourself, and if you hold L1, your player will hold in there. Now if you flick your right analog while you're holding that L1, any direction, you'll see it does a little strafe. So if you flick it once and hold it, it just does one strafe and then returns to normal. If you flick it over and over and over again, he will strafe. As you can see there, flick, 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 and he's strafing left and right. You can flick it forward, you can flick it back. Just a good way of just slightly correcting the auto positioning. If you're not entirely comfortable with the auto positioning is, then that's a really good way of fixing that. You got to be really careful not to get too carried away flick, 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 flicking, because when you do, it takes a very, very long time to get from one post to the other. And if you're in a corner situation and you're flick, 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 flicking across like that, it will take you about 2.5 hours, maybe 3, to get from one post to the other, and you will concede at the back post time and time again. Now the next thing as well, if you look, you touch the touchpad at any time, and it can toggle between focusing on the ball or focusing on your player. This is in no matter what position you play, but it's handy as the keeper. I mostly have it on my player now, but if you want to watch your attack, you can just touch that touchpad and you'll get up and you'll be able to watch the attack. Really important though, while you're watching that attack, to hold that L1 button to make sure you can hold your position, because the counter attack can come very quickly. So you make sure you touch the touchpad and it gets you back onto your player, and then you can see the play coming. Now as you see, holding L1 isn't the best thing all the time. If I was holding L1 in a few of these situations, I'd be way out of position. As you look at this ball coming now, you see where that yellow triangle, see where the L1 would have had me. It would have had me way back in the goal and out of position, and that guy might have come through to get it. As soon as they put the ball in the air, you look for the yellow spot, and then you make your decision as to whether you're going to get for that yellow spot or to sit back in goal and get ready to parry and attempt it. Goal. So I chose to go forward here, and it was the right choice at the time. But if as you can see, if I held L1, big troubles. So yeah, as soon as you see a ball in the air, you look for that yellow spot, and then you decide, is there an attacker there that's going to reach it? Now your goal kick, so many people just launch big balls up over the top. Don't bother doing that, please. If you do a full power kick from the goal kick, it turns the ball over every time. You do it 3 bars is just as powerful as 4 bars. So you pick out the player, you look for the player that's open, a player that's free. You look away from their triangle players, because they're the ones that move. Their AIs don't move out of position. And there I've done an R1X pass, which is a driven pass. Those you can drive quite hard, but any of the square balls, which is the ball over the top, you have to do that a little bit less power. Two bars is plenty for a square pass. But see that R1 driven pass? That one there you can do full power. But when you're doing a square pass, you've always got to make sure that you just don't do a full power. Sometimes you see an open player, you can just go over and push the X and just pass straight to him, and you counter attack that way. But you're really responsible for how the play goes, so you decide whether to take it quick or take your time, but try and make sure you always pass to a player. It's really, really important. See there, you launch over the top, turn the ball over. Okay, so positioning is probably the most important thing with goalkeeping. You can hold the L1 and it'll hold you relatively in position, but as you can see in these situations here, you've got to read the game as well. You can see where the triangles are coming from. My back post is about to be a bit exposed here, so I'd take one little step just before I flick that right analog, just one step to the left, and it just got me moving in that direction. So as soon as the ball was there, I was ready to flick again and dive, and well and truly covered it. Now here, as you can see, he's heading off to the right, but my left post is dangerous. So I'm not sure about that. I take one flick out of the circle. All this time I'm holding L1 and just flicking that right stick. And they're working around the box. So I want to stay ahead of my circle, because the circle is just going based on where the ball is in the game. So I'm trying to stay ahead of that circle because I know that that's where they're heading with the ball. And once again, you'll see it'll go out to the AI out here. I know he's not going to shoot. One of these guys is going to call it. You can see that guy in the front calling it. So I'm already starting to move back to cover the middle of my goal. And because I'm there ready, that covers that. And I just pulled down on that as he shot. You've got to try and time it for just after they shoot. If you flick the right analog before they shoot, in a save attempt, you won't make the save. Once again here, he kicks over the top. You can see that spot. You've got to keep an eye on where the attacker is and just position yourself accordingly. So as you can see here, by holding L1 it keeps me in the circle, and by trying to anticipate where the game's going, I'm flicking the right analog. And here I flick it way too far and it opens up my left post there, and that guy sees it and goes straight in. I was way out of position, and my trying to anticipate didn't work out for me. Now, these sorts of goals happen. Now in this one here, you'll watch me. I'm holding L1 to stay in that circle, but I know that the play is heading towards the middle of the goal face. I just know it will. So the whole time while I'm holding L1, I'm also flicking to the left, just to hold me a little bit out from that goal post and start getting me in that direction, getting me moving, so that when he passes here, there's no, like if I'm holding it on that front post, that back post is so open there. So I'm flicking across, I know it's going that direction, and then by the time he shoots, if I'd have been holding L1, that would have been a goal. But by flicking and sort of anticipating based on where their players are positioned, where the play is going to go, it helps you a lot. Now don't be this dickhead in drop-ins, you know, you're a goalkeeper, stay in the goal box, you get out of the box, you pass, look at how quickly it goes wrong. You're out of position, you're a goalkeeper, you're not a field player. If you want to play in the field, choose striker or left mid or something. Okay, one of the other problems in this game is the captain settings. You do the captain settings by pushing the D-pad, and it does that little animation you can see, and while it does that, you cannot control your keeper. If you're stuck in this position, you just tap the same direction again and it'll just stop that setting. And in this FIFA, you can only call once you're out of the box, which is a good change to it because of all the idiot keepers calling from inside the box. But you really shouldn't be calling the ball because you're a goalkeeper, so don't call it, please. Now, I know I'm not a great keeper. These are just the basics that get you started. There'll be a lot of players out there much better than me. I understand that. I don't need you to point that out. It's embarrassing being a keeper, but you try your best, and that's all you guys can do. Just have fun. Have fun, guys. Goodbye. Adios. Catch you later.